Alright, I am the owner and crafter of Barrington Acre Farm, and I am the one who runs the group Homespun Quality Products and Recipes. And I'm going to try to do my first tutorial video here on how to make bath bombs. In this bowl, I have 4 cups of baking soda, 3 cups of citric acid, a 4th cup of kaolin clay, and a 4th cup of Epsom salt. The salt and the clay are optional. There are other recipes, are optional in your bath bomb, and I'm actually doing bath butter bomb, so I'll be adding 4 ounces of shea butter that I've already melted, that's right here, and I'm going to go ahead and add my Tiger Lily fragrance to my shea butter. It's unrefined West African shea butter. I do about a little over half an ounce to an ounce. You want no more than 2% of your total recipe in fragrance or essential oil. Okay, so the way that we're going to do this is first we're going to add some colorant because I like my bath bombs to have color. And I'll throw this in here real quick and just give it a stir. Alright, since we're doing Tiger Lily, and Tiger Lilies are a really pretty orangish pink color, we are going to get our micas out. This is a mica from Mad Oils called Orange Crush. And this one, I don't remember where I got it because I put it in my own container. It's a very pretty pink. Alright. Usually I just use the back of my spoon that I use for my butter. Save me on dirtying something else. I don't want as much pink as I do orange because I'm trying to get an orangish, pinkish color, I guess. So you stir your mica in. You can always add more. You can't take it back, so just remember that. You want to get this as mixed in and as incorporated as possible, and remember that when you add your oils to this mixture, it will darken a little bit, so your color's not going to be as light as it looks originally. Yeah, awesome, good times. My daughter is doing the video today. She is my crazy 16-year-old Lala Opal, and I appreciate her help. This is why I never get to make videos, because I usually don't have the help, so very exciting. And in the background playing, the music that is playing is actually Andy Sorrells. He is a man that I've known since I was a little kid. He played piano when I was younger, and I used to sing a lot when I was raised in the children's home I was raised in. So he sent me this beautiful CD of him playing the hymns that I was raised singing, and I just love listening to it, so I put it on in the background. Thank you, Andy, for my CD. Alright. Just making sure I get everything nice and incorporated before I start adding my oil in. This will require getting your hands dirty. If you want to wear gloves, wear gloves. I try to, usually when I'm making stuff that I sell, but for bath bombs, I just find that for me it's easier without the gloves.
Tilt the bowl to the side and look at the sides. I don't know if that was just the glare.
Yeah, it's hard to see from up high. Okay, and this is not as dark as I'm going to want it, so we're going to add a little bit more. They do have bath bomb liquid oil for colorants or whatever, and I just find that it's cheaper and easier for me to be able to use my micas because they don't stain your bathtub or your skin. And it's something that I use in soap making, so it's nice to be able to just use one thing for 2 purposes and save some money. Okay, here we go. Alright, I think I'm pretty good here. Once I start adding my oils, you'll see that this will darken up to a nice pretty color. Let me go ahead and put my micas up so if I make a mess here, I don't mess up anything that I can... Oh, it smells so good. Okay, now I have 2 different bath bomb sizes. I don't remember the exact dimensions of these. This is what I call my baseball size, and this is what I call my just bigger than a golf ball. So this one makes about a 9-ounce plus bath bomb, and this one makes about a 5-ounce plus bath bomb.
The sun, Jupiter. Or Jupiter and Saturn, I don't know. Yeah, Jupiter and Saturn. That's good.
Okay, you don't want to just go and dump all this in there. What you want to do when you go to add your butter and your fragrance oil is to
mix and pour.
Do a little, this is where you're going to get messy in a minute. Start adding just little bits at a time. And when I first start, I just do it with this, and then once we get a lot in there, I start doing it with my hand. Just start trying to get it all worked in as much as possible. The consistency that you're looking for when you're making bath bombs is kind of like wet sand. You're also going to need witch hazel towards the end of this process. It helps hold them together. You don't want to use water or something like that, because water is what's going to set these suckers off and make them start fizzing like an Alka-Seltzer. So, alright, it's going to take my hand. You stick your hand in it and just start breaking it all down and mixing it together as much as you can. Alright, just trying to mix it up, and we'll start slowly adding some more in as we go. Dang, it already smells really good. You smell it?
Yes.
This is also a double batch, so if you don't want to make as many bath bombs as I'm making, then cut this recipe in half, because this does make several bath bombs, and if you're doing small ones, it makes quite a bit. So. What you're trying to do is get all this super incorporated and get it to the texture of wet sand, which we're getting there. And once we do that, then we'll spray a little witch hazel on it and we'll start molding our bombs. I don't have anything to hold these while they cure up for 24 hours. You're going to want to let them sit and cure for about 24 hours. Try to keep them away from any kind of moisture. I wish I had a dehumidifier maybe one day. But it doesn't have to be a full 24 hours either. I mean, it's just kind of a base. You can feel them and tell when they're ready to be packaged.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
I see it right there, baby. You can feel them and tell once you've been doing it for a minute and when they're ready to be packaged. So, but if there is a lot of humidity in your area or whatever, you're going to want to try to find a way to keep them away from it, or your bath bombs will start setting off the chemical reaction before they make it to the bathtub. So, you don't want that to happen. So I say do not add any kind of water. And bath bombs don't really set off very well in cold water. You know, that's why I guess they're good for baths, because they work much better in warm or hot water. This is a very messy craft as well. So if you don't like getting messy or making a mess, this probably isn't for you. I'm used to a mess.
You've
so.
missed a clump over on the corner there that seemed important.
I'm going around the whole bowl. It's going to start clumping up because it's getting ready. We're literally about to be
right there is
molding it.
wet.
Oh, okay, I see the oil. Yeah. Me gets it. Okay. Alright, it's hard to get down to the bottom without making a mess. That's the hard part. Make sure you use a bigger bowl than I'm using if you do a double recipe. It just helps me with time to be able to do it double, but when it comes to having the right bowl, it would help a lot. I just don't have one any bigger than this right now. Other than my soap cooking pot, and I didn't want to make this in my soap pot, so.
She's sliding in the box.
Alright, I think it's pretty good incorporated. I like to look at the bottom and make sure everything's mixed in. Looks like everything's pretty good. I don't see any unmixed stuff here, so alright, get that out of our way. When I make my bath bombs, like I said, I don't have something to put them on, like a rack or something, so usually what I do is, put them in a egg carton. I bought 50 egg cartons to use here for the farm to sell my eggs in, and my chickens only lay about 2 eggs a day right now for 10 hens, so it kind of stinks. So I figured I'd make some use out of some of them so that I could have something to hold these, and it works pretty good. It makes a little indentation in the bottom, but anything you put them in when they're first coming out is going to leave a little impression out because they're soft. So, alright, I'm going to start molding these bath bombs. Is that good? Is that alright?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Oh, goodness. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is add just a couple spritz of witch hazel in this and mix it around a little bit. This helps your bath bombs stick together a little bit better for while you're making it. As you can see, it's already making these nice big old chunks because it's ready to go in the mold. Alright, I always start with my bigger one and then go to my smaller one. What you want to do is take your 2 bath bomb molds, put them down in your stuff, and you're going to want to scoop up way more than you need. And then you want to push them. Do not twist these. I see so many people do that. It's the wrong way to do it. When you push them together, it'll push out the extra on its own. You just keep on pushing as hard as you can until you get them to where they're at least close to touching. When you go to take this off, a lot of times they don't want to let go. So just tap it with a spoon or whatever you got, and usually it'll pop right off. Flip it over in your other hand. Do the same thing. My husband is the perfect one at this part, but you just want to push your little edge down a little bit, make it a little prettier, a little bit more appealing. If you're selling them, if you're using them for personal use, then it really don't matter. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's one bath bomb, and I'm just going to set it right here. Okay. You can add glitter to this mix too. I tend not to. I tend to just put a little sprinkle of glitter on top because I know that glitter is very hard to get rid of, so I didn't want to overflow people's bathtubs with glitter. That's how they look when they're finished. Very pretty.
You want me to pause it here?
And I will add a little glitter to the top of this real quick. 4 different types of glitters that I buy, and I mix them all together to make my own little iridescent. This is what I do. I just put it on the top, and I just barely move it around with my finger so that just the top of the bath bomb has a little pretty added to it. And like I said, you can actually put this in your mixture if you want to, but I just prefer to add it to the tops because, like I said, I don't want your bathtub to be full of glitter or your body when you're done getting clean. So, okay. If you notice that your mixture starts to get a little bit dry, that's when you just add a little bit more witch hazel. If your bath bomb doesn't hold together and it splits apart in the center, you just dump it back in there, break it back down, and add some witch hazel back to your mixture. I hope that one went together a little too easy. Like that. Glad I did that just so I could show you. Okay, so when it does this, knock it back in, break it back up. Just spray a little bit more witch hazel in it. Mix it back in. You're back to that nice wet sand texture. You can start over.
Ready to say goodbye?
Alright. Yeah, we'll call it a day. This is how you make your butter bath bombs, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video and we didn't drive you too crazy. Peace out.